All right, NBC asked the Bachmann campaign for a comment on the story. A spokeswoman says that Bachmann Associates is a Christian counseling center that provides services to patients with a variety of counseling and mental health issues. She refused to discuss the specifics of this or any other case, citing patient confidentiality. But she did say, quote, the clinic honors and respects all people for whatever issue they come in for. And if there is a conflict, they refer them somewhere else. All right, I'm joined now by Clarke Cooper, who is executive director of the Log Cabin Republicans. You just saw him in Michael's story there, and Peter Sprigg as well, senior fellow for policy studies at the Family Research Center. Peter, let's start with you. What's your reaction to what we just heard from Michael Isikoff's piece?
Well, I'm surprised that this story is getting so much attention, that this is even news. This type of therapy or counseling is based on the undeniable fact that some people who experience same-sex attractions experience them as something unwanted. And it's based on a fundamental ethical principle in the counseling profession, which is client autonomy, that the client sets the goals for therapy and the therapist helps the client attain their own goals. Well, and finally, if this is indeed a Christian counseling center, then it should not be surprising that the counselors there seek to help clients to live their lives in a way consistent with Christian teaching. People listen to that statement, they do see that as a very extreme view. And so I have to ask you, Clarke, as we look at the election going forward, and we look at candidates like Bachmann as they try to make their space in the GOP field, will this help or hurt her?
It will hurt her, and it'll actually hurt any candidate. So it's not just a matter of Congresswoman Bachmann, but Republicans made gains in 2010 because of our positions on the economy, job growth, addressing government debt, addressing government spending. But if the voters see the Republican Party, if they see us as intolerant and attacking a certain population of fellow Americans, it's not a winning combination. And I'm not the only one that says this. There are many other fellow strategists, regardless of their orientation, who are concerned that we could lose the voters that we gained in the 2010 election cycle.
And Peter, as we look towards 2012, will the middle adopt such a view that you've just described? In the general election, do you think this will be tolerated?
Well, I just point out the only intolerance here is intolerance towards those people who are seeking help for what they consider unwanted sexual attractions. That's the intolerance that we're seeing here. And I don't think this is going to hurt Michelle Bachmann. Social conservatives are at the heart of the Republican base. This is, and it would be controversial if she were to affirm homosexual conduct or endorse same-sex marriage. That's what would be controversial. This is not.
All right, I want to play for you a shot here, a piece of sound that we have from Tim Pawlenty, because it's not only Michelle Bachmann who is dealing with this issue. Take a listen to this.
Is being gay a choice?
Well, the science in that regard is in dispute. There's no scientific conclusion that it's genetic. We don't know that. So we don't know to what extent, it's behavioral, and that's something that's been debated by scientists for a long time.
So, Clarke, do you expect to see other candidates, for the GOP nomination, to be moving closer to that view?
I would hope not. I mean, several have already come out and said they understand that regardless of someone's orientation, they have the rights and access and privileges of any American citizen. This includes Romney, this includes Huntsman, this includes Paul, this includes Johnson. But back to the debate or the dialogue about the science, it isn't limited to genetics. In fact, the National Institute of Health in the 1990s came out and said it's much more complex than that. It is a trait. It has biological components, just like eye color or right-handedness or left-handedness. It's empirical clinical analysis. It's not limited to one particular gene, just like many other traits or aspects of our biology are multifaceted. Right. But it is, to say that it's a choice is just absolutely ridiculous. And it's not just the American Psychological Association that concurs with that, it's the American Medical Association as well. And when it comes to the religious component, thank God my clergy told me that I was a child of God and that I was accepted in the communion of faith. I just happen to be part of the Episcopal Church, but they're not limited in that position. The Catholic Church even has said that one's orientation is innate, regardless if you're straight or gay. It's the matter of that it's innate, it's not a choice.
Clarke Cooper, thank you. Peter Sprigg also for your time today on this issue.
Thank you.